and age-old systems and traditions are something that redefines all of us. No Easter is Easter without an Easter ham, and as simple as no Christmas is Christmas without a Christmas plum pudding. My Easter ham adds a little bit of Christmas right into it. While creating my peaches in rum-soaked molasses during Christmas, I reserve a jar of that sheer liquid gold molasses to use for my Easter ham. Slow baked to perfection, this comes either if you have the time and the energy to bake it for 24 hours, or like me, 5 hours in the oven at 160 degrees Celsius. My ham is made from scratch with potassium nitrate, some apple juice, and all the odds and ends that come together. Let's get to creating a little bit of Christmas in Easter. Zia. Now all you need to do for this Easter ham is preheat your oven to 230 degrees Celsius for a good 10 minutes. And let the oven do all the magic. You make the ham in advance and that's all you need to do. Out here is my liquid gold that I've been reserving, sheer black indulgence, and 300 mils of this is what's going to create that decadent ham. Creating the ham requires a lot of time, and while I've already created it, you can use a store-bought gammon which can be cooked as well. Now to create my gammon, it's really very simple. I take 5 liters of store-bought apple juice. To that I add 1 cup of sea salt, 1 cup of dark brown sugar, and half cup of potassium nitrate. Create a perfect brine. Allow the ham leg, that's nearly 4 kgs of ham leg, to sit in that suspended below with some weight. And I keep it on an average for 5 days per kg. So this sits in the refrigerator for nearly 20 days and your gammon or ham is ready to be enjoyed and taken to the next level. So out here I've got a good 4.5 kgs piece of ham that has been tied well, and it sits straight into an aluminium foil. I enjoy having the gammon or ham really tied well or trussed well so that the meat is nice and firm, and it works really well because this way of cooking it doesn't give it a lot of shrinkage. So with this nestled nicely in the foil, and I've gone overboard with the foil because I'm always more worried of dirtying the tray, I'm just going to take this sheer liquid gold of molasses and drizzle it all on top. Don't be alarmed if it doesn't go into all the nooks and crannies, because 5 hours of cooking this at 160 degrees Celsius is going to work its magic in. Just sprinkle 300 mils of this on top and it's time to pack. Most often the easiest way to create a ham is just to take this entire piece, have it well trussed, and put it into a simmering pot of liquid and allow it to boil or simmer for a good 2.5 hours. But it can be such a nightmare handling big joints when they are hot. So this works well. I occasionally like to cook it at 100 degrees Celsius for either 24 hours or 48 hours. Slower the better. But this one allows you to cook it at 160 degrees Celsius for 5 hours. So with the molasses nestled and drizzled right to the bottom, another large foil goes on top, and you just create a perfect bag and seal everything within. So you keep wrapping it round and ensure that everything is well sealed. This creates a perfect bag or a parcel which allows everything to trap within, and the flavors just get so sharp and pronounced. With this done, your work is done. This needs to just go into the oven and let the oven do all the magic. You want all the juices to lock in, so for the first half an hour you cook it at 230 degrees Celsius and then just lower the temperature to 160 and let it nestle for the next 4.5 hours. Now while I've allowed this to sit at 230 degrees Celsius for a good 30 minutes, I'm just going to bring down the temperature to 160 on the fan mode, 180 on a regular old-fashioned oven, and forget about it for the next 4.5 hours. And I get to my favorite pastime of irritating Zoe and Zia. A rare treat. 5 hours of irritating the girls, watching a movie, reading a book, and going into a nap. This ham is ready, and that's the joys of cooking, where you just allow the oven to do all the work while you can actually prove to the world that you're a star, but at the same time create fabulous meals without the stress of it. The grand unveiling is really very simple. You just need to open it up, but do not ever discard of this, because you're going to keep the foil even when you sear it at 200 degrees Celsius to get that glorious crust on top. So open it carefully and just lift it off and look at that steam and the gorgeous way the ham has cooked. I like to reserve a little bit of the sauces just to dribble on the meat. Even if the skin sticks to the foil, do not be alarmed, because you in any case have to discard that. Cut off all the twine that has been trussed, and you can see it's got minimum shrinkage, but just cut it all off and remove it out. When baked right, peeling out the skin happens really very simple, and you do not need to cut it off. And even if a little bit of the fat comes out, do not be alarmed. It's just a perfect ham. Now comes the fun part of scoring this and creating about beautiful diamond marks. So just go 0.5 centimeter in, so that the fat scores really well and gives you those diamond studded beauties, which will get encrusted with a clove in each of the nook. I like to leave nearly 1.5 centimeters between each place and just go in the beautiful lines. I don't want to discard any of the fat because I want it to melt and give out most of its lusciousness. Studding a ham is an age-old secret that most people know. In each of the nooks, just add a clove and push it in so that it gives out that gorgeous flavor when the ham is ready. Clove studding a ham is a very holiday thing, and if you want to keep it all natural, just enjoy the rind, score it, put a thick concentrate on top and put it into the oven. That's another option that you can use always. The best part about cooking is you can implore, play around and use certain ideas, but make it so true and individualistic to your family needs. While I have made a ham from scratch, and that's because of the added drama that I love making things from scratch, you can buy a store-bought gammon or even a cooked gammon. Follow the instructions, reheat it to perfection, and then go about creating this next step. So out here into a bowl, I'm going to take a tablespoon of some stone ground honey mustard. And since we are mustard obsessed, I'm just going with another 1/4 tablespoon more. To that, I add 4 tablespoons of demerara brown sugar, along with my Rhum Molasses, just to give it that glaze on top. And as always, I'm not satisfied with just the amount that we added. So 4 tablespoons of that going on top, and this is sheer liquid gold. Give it all a good mix, and scatter it on top and just allow it to spread on top. This is the perfect glaze. At times, if I want the mustard to be more sharper, I just add a teaspoon of wasabi to the mix and create another variant or a style of it. With this ready, it's time to slather this on top. So just sprinkle it on top and allow it to go into the nooks and crannies of this star creation. Slathering this and allowing it to go into all the crevices is a part of it. And finally, all you need to do is just take every last reminiscent from the bowl and put it on top. This is going to give you that dark, gorgeous ham. Now this goes into a preheated oven at 200 degrees Celsius for a good 25 minutes and you're ready to enjoy this decadent creation. Moving from night to day and back, this goes into that preheated oven for another 25 minutes and we are ready. 20 minutes and the crust has got that perfect caramelized brown on top and this is ready to be removed and enjoyed right away. With this ham glistening and gleaming to perfection, the pan juices are the perfect gravy on the side. Nestle it in the same platter with some roast potatoes or just have it like it's meant to be. Any leftover ham stores really well in the refrigerator for 2 to 3 days or freeze it for right up to 2 months in an airtight container. I hope you enjoyed creating a little bit of Christmas with Easter and bringing the two together perfectly well. I like to plan and keep bits and pieces of things that I can use all through the year. Don't forget to share loads of love by hitting on the like button, and from all of us out here, here's wishing you all a very happy Easter. Stay safe, stay blessed always.